hello, and welcome to a special round table, top table. So what can I say? Round table. What's wrong with me?
Round tabletop.
A round tabletop edition of Film Sack. You may have already had one of those this month, and you probably really enjoyed it because we always like making them. But here we are again, and it's very specific to the holiday time that we're in. Oh, yes, that's right. Halloween is before us, and horror movies all around us, and it's all we do for Sacktober anyway. We thought we'd talk about what makes a good horror movie. Why do some work better around Halloween and some work better not around Halloween? Kind of everything in between. Randy, you're sort of the genesis of this idea. Let's get going.
Because like I think about it every year. We all do. We think about it every year, and it kind of lends itself to some categories. You kind of end up drawing a circle around different movies as you approach October. If you're us,
sure.
Basically, is the movie scary or not, and is the movie a Halloween movie or not? And so, yeah, if you have those two questions, you end up with four categories. The first one is irrelevant to us, which is the non-Halloween, non-scary movie, right?
Right. Okay.
We're not gonna, and I'll give you an example of those. Say the Harry Potter series, right?
Sure.
Not Halloween, not scary. It's not really something that you never heard a person say, "We're going to watch the Harry Potter movies in October." Nobody does that.
I think some people I know do that, but they don't do it because it's Halloween. They do it because it's like a fall feeling, like that.
I feel like it's a Christmas thing.
Yeah, because they always release at Christmas, right? So it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, and they're often set, or at least the movies have, and all the books do too.
Snowy around Hogwarts and stuff.
Yeah, and they have a whole everyone goes home for Christmas, but Harry stays because his family sucks, or there's that whole thing. But I get your point. There's a distinction there for sure.
So let me ask this: so is E.T. a Halloween movie? Because it's Halloween, right?
Definitely starts. Yes. So that was going to be. Let me get there. That's our third category. It's a good question. It's a good question because it's also different for everybody. And so the second category is scary movies that are non-Halloween, and this is where it gets super subjective because a lot of people are going to disagree. You're going to say, well, if it's a scary movie, then it is a Halloween movie for me.
Right.
But then other people are like, no, there's non-Halloween scary movies, the Jordan Peele movies, or for some people, Alien. You wouldn't watch Alien movies during October specifically because it's not related to Halloween for you.
Good point. I could watch an Alien movie any time of the year, and I won't feel like I'm not going to watch Beetlejuice for the rest of the year, but I might watch that on Halloween.
So it's like Halloween in space.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So a few years ago, Robert Eggers made a movie with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson called The Lighthouse.
I love that movie.
Oh, that was so freaking wild.
Yeah, and that's the best example I could think of a movie that's like scary, definitely scary, and people are gonna disagree. Some people are gonna say that's an October movie, just because of like the setting and the feeling of it,
tone
right?
of it, yeah.
But then other would probably say no. That's.
I mean, I think the Eggers movie that I would watch every Halloween would probably be The Witch, and probably his upcoming Nosferatu remake thing.
Which The Witch just popped onto Max. So
nice.
They didn't take advantage of the fact that people were going to want to watch it and make it unavailable for quote unquote free viewing.
That one does jump around a lot. I've noticed it was on Netflix for a hot minute, and then it moved over to Hulu for a while. And I don't know what the distribution deal is on that movie, but they're all over the place sometimes.
If you put wizards in with your witches, it kind of puts it out of Halloween. But if it's just purely witches, it seems Halloween.
Yeah, like Witches of Eastwick or something. You could see not scary. It's a non-scary movie that you would say to Halloween. So that's our third category.
But if you say people always argue every year that Die Hard's a Christmas movie, and they have kind of what's the word? It's a little loose as to why. Like, well, it's set around Christmas. Okay, fair enough. Is that enough? Like, if a movie's
that's the question with the Die Hard thing. It's like, is there enough? Because it's more than just it takes place at Christmas. There's also mentions of Christmas. There's music.
The climactic ending, the resolution happens because of Christmas, right? Because there is
because Santa comes in and saves the day. It's a Christmas movie.
But I mean, everybody's there for Christmas party. The tape he uses, like, it's part of a present wrapping rolling setup. So I think it's a Christmas movie because of those things.
And again, these second, third, and fourth categories are very subjective. Sure. There are exceptions. Like, there's some things that fit real neatly into the categories. But if you talk to different people, they're going to say, oh, Signs is not a Halloween movie for me. And other people are going to go, well, but it's perfect.
Wow, it seems like Aliens almost exclude. I haven't thought about it much. It seems like Aliens really pushes people out from the Halloween thing. Interesting.
It can.
Okay, well, let's see about that. So, the third category is non-scary Halloween movies, right?
Yeah.
So it's movies that you absolutely can watch in October. You're thinking Halloween for reasons, but they're not scary.
Is that E.T. fall into that category then?
I think so. I think so. I think a lot of kids' movies, Paranorman, Coco, are falling. I would put the Ghostbusters movies in non-scary. I think there are probably people who get scared, but I don't think they're scary.
No, they're not.
Of course.
I mean, the second one's scary, but not in the way you hope.
But not in a Halloween scary.
No, it's scary in a shitty way. It's a scary, and you've wasted your eyeball time.
I am drippings with goo.
Do you believe in magic?
Yeah.
I believe in magic.
I freaking hate that movie so much.
I think there are probably people out there who dislike non-scary Halloween movies, like just on principle. So if it's not scary.
Would you put Beetlejuice in there? That fits.
Yeah. Addams Family. Like you're looking
Addams
at it.
Was a good one.
Yeah. You're going to look at it. The Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's something. It's not scary, therefore it's not like what you're looking for this time of year for some people.
Yeah, you're looking to be scared, right? Yeah.
See,
I want to be scared. See, if you can't bring me to scares, then I'm out.
Yeah, forget it. See,
I mean, there's two parts to Halloween, right? It's the candy and it's the scares, right?
Right.
Well,
the candy.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
trick or treating and trick or treat. Great example.
So is Willy Wonka is a lot of candy? Is that Halloween?
No. Gosh, no.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. There might be a connection there, though.
No.
Candy excludes it. Okay. All right.
There might be a thing there, though. I think that I would rather watch that movie in the fall. Now, I'm not saying it's Halloween specific, I guess.
Right.
But I would rather watch that.
Don't they always? Isn't that one of the ones that they kind of always show around Easter?
Do they?
It felt like that was around Easter, and for whatever reason, Wizard of Oz was always right around Thanksgiving.
Right. They did that for many years. Well, that's because you would tune in for that. You had to tune in for that special presentation. You didn't choose to watch Wizard of Oz.
Is it because of the eggs? I wonder if that's why it's Easter, because of the geese with the golden eggs.
Maybe, but I think you're right about the showing does have a
time of year.
Yeah, when you got presented it, that will have a huge impact on whether or not you consider it a thing.
We don't live in those times anymore. Now we can watch what we want to watch. But back in our day,
that's a good point.
Yeah, they would show the Wizard of Oz on Thanksgiving for some reason. That was just like what they did.
Did you guys growing up have a Halloween tradition? The way that people watch Christmas Story for Christmas, or Elf or something. Was there a Halloween movie where it was like, well, it is October and we must watch this as a family, or me and my friends, or whatever?
As a kid, absolutely, with Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, sure.
Like that was
that was all the attention span we had for, right? We got to get the candy.
Sure felt like it sometimes, yeah. Those, and you just gave some more examples of good Halloween content that isn't meant to be scary at all. They just evoke
right. And again, you can differ, right? You can look at people can be scared by Ghostbusters movies, and or they could even say that's scary but not Halloween for me. Like you can put it in a completely different category.
Right.
But the non-scary Halloween movies tend to get kind of glossed over in favor of that fourth category, the very scary, very Halloween. And that's the question that you're ultimately coming to. Is like what's the thing? What are the movies like? What are the Exorcists and Omens for you and yours?
Growing up, it was 100% Poltergeist every year. We watched that every year.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And it felt like that's a movie that straddled a line of it is scary. You know what? If anything, Flanagan, Matt Flanagan's success, is it Matt? Mike Flanagan. I get him mixed up with Jenny Joseph's husband.
Right.
And then I think about how everyone thought he cheated at Nerdtacular's thing because he wrote for Letterman. Anyway,
because the Letterman top 10s.
Don't talk to Veronica. She has an opinion on it. But anyway, the point is, what was my point? My point is, I feel like that movie is a good example of his vibe, which is these people matter. There's more going on here than just scares, and it's a great mix that way. So it felt like a family movie, even though Like, I was pretty young, so my sister was very young, but we still watched it as a family every year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had the opposite because I was trying to think. Typically, I don't have too many Halloween movies because there's only a very narrow window when I was, a teenager, right before going into college or right in the beginning of college, where I watched movies with my friends more than my family's at Halloween. Before and after, it was about my own family, or it was about being part of, my family growing up. And so it was always family movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't think of that too many we watch. Of course, we watch the classics like Halloween. Duh. Yeah, you watch Halloween on Halloween.
Halloween on Halloween. It's right there in the name.
See, and that was forbidden fruit in my house. Nobody would let us watch that.
Halloween's a good movie. And I think more people should watch it for the actual good construction, the acting, like the performances. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Why do you suppose it's not appreciated that way?
Because it's called Halloween. Yeah. Like if you set anything into this holiday, people don't think it's serious. They don't think it's going to be like good and dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the original, to us, is cinematic history. It's great for me, but it's a hard sell to younger people who are looking for the scares. It's like, what is this old crap?
I just realized there is one that fits the alien thing but also works for me for Halloween, and it's because you're talking about Carpenter here, but The Thing is this for me.
The Thing is,
yes.
I love watching The Thing for Halloween. It's great.
No, that's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's scary, but it's
for the Addams Family or for the John you said the John Carpenter.
Carpenter,
so not The Thing from the Addams Family.
No, not that. Freaking F that stupid thing. Who gives a shit about that?
Wow. Come on, the disembodied hand. Come on.
I mean, all right. It's okay. You know what? I've never been the market audience for that. I don't know what my problem is with Addams Family. That and Munsters just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Okay. I don't know why. I kind of like the first.
I mean, it's a comedic thing. It's just like, all right, how many horror movie tropes can we parody in a TV show, right? Like, our cousin's a Wolfman, and our
exactly. I think I'm okay with the cartoon because its origins make sense to me because the cartoon's kind of weird
Adams, comic strip.
Yeah, the comic strip, and then there've been some animated things. I do like those, but I don't know what it is. Something about it. I just can't take it seriously, or it isn't for me. Or
you're not supposed to take it serious.
Like the Wednesday show, I really wanted to enjoy that. I really couldn't.
Oh, really? I love that show. That's good.
I liked it okay. Up, right? Yeah, another season coming up, yeah. I really like her. She's amazing. She just turned 21. What the hell, dude? She's like,
wow.
That girl's beyond her years. I don't understand what's going on with her. But
born in the 2000s. The question I have for you is: does anybody want to come to the defense of found footage movies that are scary?
Yes,
at Halloween.
Yeah, I love him. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, you like the what's the Paranormal Activity, right? Like that one.
I do like that one. I like it.
Witch.
I like it more than Blair Witch just because I think it's found footage handled. How do I put it? I could tell that the people in Blair Witch were acting, and I need to be not taken out of it. I need to feel like this real found footage.
Doesn't like time travel movies.
Yeah.
Oh no, I like them.
Oh, I
just pick them apart. Yeah.
That's probably
hillbilly movies. I don't like.
Oh yeah, right. I'm similar with the found footage stuff. I spend too much time trying to figure out. Well, why would they have a camera there? Why would they film this?
I watch America's Funniest Home Videos is because I spend too much time thinking, wait a minute, why are they filming that? That's totally staged.
Right. Well, the way it works for me, the reason I like it, for the good ones anyway, are the ones that make me feel like I'm not seeing that problem. Because you're right, that is a problem. Yeah. So some movies do it better than others, but some of them that are very good about these cameras are only handheld, or they're like the reason Paranormal works really well is because they're static cameras. They're locked in these positions in the house, and the whole story is told from that point of view. What was the one a couple of years ago? It was like a Zoom. It was during the pandemic. It even had
yeah.
I love that.
And everybody.
Movie.
That was a really clever take on it. Yeah, where everybody keeps disappearing. A bunch of teenagers on the Zoom call, and they kept.
I don't know if they were more like college. I'm thinking of
their 20s. Yeah, maybe
there's been a couple is the problem, and one of them was kind of bad. The Skype one was bad, but the one I'm thinking of is I think the one you're thinking of, and it was it was awesome, and it really kept me glued, and it used the tech properly. It never fudged it. And that's what I appreciate. So Dunaway, you're not wrong. Those things have to be right, or F the whole process.
Dunaway, do you make an exception for even the big ones like Cloverfield or Blair Witch?
No, I actually liked Cloverfield. I did not appreciate their marketing trying to trick us when it first came out, because I was a little bit pissed when I found I was like, oh, there's all this stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's just a bunch of malarkey. But if they had just sold it like, I don't know, it was just a little too over marketed for me. But going back and watching it, I really liked it.
Yeah. I love that movie, and I love the fact that
snot and all
on the ground. Yeah, right. And I always forget it's a found footage movie, but I do like the fact that you've got this monster movie where if you were on the ground and running and seeing what's going on, you'd barely ever see the monster. You're just like trying to get to a safe place and trying to get to another safe place and all that sort of thing. So it's a very, I do like that perspective of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as a Halloween movie, even really a horror movie. I think of more about a sci-fi movie, but
because found footage, I'm arguing that found footage isn't strictly Halloween ever. Like, because
it's more of a summer,
unless it happens to be your ring cam capturing trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, I mean, right. Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity are the outliers, but it's like a musical genre. Just because you have a twangy guitar doesn't mean it's automatically a country song.
Right.
Ibbott, do you have a very scary, very Halloween movie in your household that you've watched many times in October?
No. I don't. Yeah, we really don't do. It's funny. We don't do regular viewings of movies like that, maybe with the exception of The Wizard of Oz, because it's Tina's favorite movie, and we'll watch that maybe not every year, but 2 out of every 3 years we'll do a Wizard of Oz viewing. But it's funny, even like The Great Pumpkin, we'll maybe put it on when we see it get advertised on Apple TV Plus, Max, whatever, and watch it during sometime in October. But it's certainly not all right, we got to get ready for a regular viewing of this movie. I take that back. I think Elf is one that we will try to watch every year. So that's probably just the one exception, is that we'll try to watch Elf every year.
And you guys try to get a Die Hard in, right? Usually around Christmas.
No,
not even that.
No, not even. No.
Not really. No, we did it when Tristan was here, because it was like, okay, required viewing. Tristan, you need to watch Die Hard. But it's not even a regular Christmas thing. Tina took me to a theatrical re-release of it as one of our mystery dates, which was fantastic. Seeing it again in theaters was, with an audience full of people who'd seen it 100 times as well.
Oh, that must have been awesome.
Cheered at the right parts and laughed at the right parts and whatever. But we really don't do the regular.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really interesting how some movies capture different people for rewatching and some don't. Like, I can tell you the last time I watched Die Hard, it was with you guys. It was 2011, December 2011 was the last time I watched Die Hard, and it didn't capture me at all for rewatching. But then ever since I first got a copy of Scream, I'm probably watching Scream every 2 or 3 years during October.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's a good Halloween pick.
You just stay with Scream 1 and not worry about the sequels? Or?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even think I've seen most of them. But I love that movie. It's very Halloween. It's pretty scary. Recently, like 2 years ago at most, I got a copy of It Follows. That's probably going to also be like, I'm going to watch that every 2 or 3 years. I don't think anybody really has an every year Halloween movie, but like every 2 or 3 years, I watch Signs. I think Signs is really perfect.
I don't
find that much for Halloween, but that's interesting. I love watching Signs every couple of years. There's only one thing that I watch every year, and I have done so ever since 2014. And it's not a movie. It's Over the Garden Wall.
Oh, yeah.
It's short enough to do the whole series.
It's so good. Gosh dang it, it's good. It's one of the greatest things ever made. If you haven't seen it, you really, really should see it.
Yeah, and that's become something that people watch the last week of September every year when it becomes autumn. We get into autumn and everybody watches Over the Garden Wall now. It's really
rolls right into it.
Daughter and her friends just did a binge the other night, and I think they did the whole thing in one night or 2 nights maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because it's maybe
5, 6?
4 or 5 hours, something like that. I mean, it's Yeah,
it's pretty short. Bad. You can cram it pretty quick, and it's wonderful. And it's if it's missing anything, it's just more. We want more. Yeah. You know, it's one of those like lucky moments of like amazing content that just never got a sequel or never got. It was never intended to. It was always just supposed to be this short thing.
One off.
Yeah, people love it though. I was going to say, you know, for me, my yearly watches are. I'm trying to think if any of them are Halloween, but I think I actually do. About once a year I'll watch Hereditary again.
Oh,
and Hereditary is always gives me the freaks. I mean, that thing just freaks me the hell out.
I thought you said the shits.
It gives me the shits. It gives me the shits. Got a real bad case of the shits when I watch it. And no, I think that movie is like the quintessential horror movie. I absolutely love it. It works for me every time I see it. But nobody else wants to see that with me, so it's not a family thing.
Yeah,
you know,
I watch a lot of horror movies by myself. I don't, unless Drew is over. He's the only family member that really appreciates the horror movies. Zoe does, but she doesn't have the patience for a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
or an hour and a half. She's like, I'm out.
I got some follow-up recommendation for people who are worried that if you show your friends who have never seen the Alien series and you walk them through to at least 3. That 3 is going to be so disappointing because of who dies at the beginning and all that stuff, right?
Right.
It's really fun taking people into that who have no baggage about that, because I was worried about that with my daughter, and she loved 3. She's like, man, she's a badass in 3. She's so cool.
Oh,
I'm like,
so badass.
It's not just because she shaved her head like you, is it? And she's like, no, Dad, there's more to it than that. But she really, really liked it, and she says, yeah, I understand why people would be upset, but because we're watching them so far after the fact and one after another like this, it just doesn't have it's not the same problem. Yeah. So watch it with somebody younger and you won't have 2 decades of being pissed at
the choices made.
Yeah. You'll just enjoy it for what it is. You'll also hate the CG still because it sucks, but you know, it is what it is.
Want to hear a list of A24 horror movies?
Ooh, they're good. They're usually good. Give it to us.
Do it.
Number 1 is Hereditary. Number 2 is The Witch. Number 3 interests me. It's Pearl.
Pearl. Yes.
Oh, Pearl. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
What's the first one?
Maxine trilogy.
Right.
Triple X.
First
right?
one's
Triple
X. Or just X, right?
Just X. Right.
And then
no Vin Diesel involved.
No. or Elon Musk, thank goodness. But what's the other Maxine, and then there's a new No, Pearl. Maxine's the new one. Pearl's the middle one. Okay. And you think Pearl's worth seeing, is what you're saying?
Pearl in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen it.
We got Lighthouse, which we mentioned, and Green Room coming in at number 5.
I haven't. Did I see Green Room?
Green Room is also Ty West, isn't it? I think. Same guy. Or no. Whatever. No. Green Room is whatever. Shit. Someone look up Green Room.
Jeremy Saulnier, and it stars Anton Yelchin.
Green Room is good, you guys. Yeah. Doesn't that have a tiny role from Patrick Stewart?
Yes,
it does. That's what sucked me in.
And it's got Imogen Poots. I like Imogen Poots.
So there are there are small-ish movies that you could put on your list that are newer. Like, people are still making movies for you to watch in October.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another one. I sound like DJ Khaled. The new Muppet Haunted Mansion thing.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
100% should be watched every year. Like their Christmas one, which is one I watch every year. It is that good. It's so good.
It is really good.
Yeah, fantastic.
You say the new one, but it came out a while ago, right?
A couple years, pandemic,
year,
right?
Maybe?
It was a couple years ago Disney thing, like dedicated Disney thing with a lot of cameos, Eric Stone Street and Neil Patrick Harris and
it was a Disney Plus thing during the height of the pandemic, if I remember right.
Right.
And it was such a delightful thing to find in the fall when all the numbers are going up and everybody had COVID coming out of their butt. It was like,
I think the new Haunted Mansion movie is actually pretty good too. It's actually got some good scary stuff in it.
It's the one with Ahsoka in it. What's that? What's her name?
Yes.
Fran Drescher. No. I can't think of it.
Welcome to the Haunted Mansion.
I can't think of her name. Anyway, she's great. Love her.
She is great. Yeah,
she's in all those Kevin Smith things. Can't think of her name. But what are you gonna?
I'm putting the Vivitch because still haven't seen it. And Mandy, another one we haven't mentioned yet. Not Halloween-y, but when you brought up Green Book, it recommended, I was pulling up the information for Green Book, it pulled up a recommendation for Mandy. I'm like, oh yeah, the Nicolas Cage Hell thing.
We should watch both of them. I've seen both, and we should watch both here at some point. They're both excellent movies in their own right, but they have a great dialogue. Like, I would love capturing clips from The Witch, and I've seen The Witch, I think, 4 times now.
Wow,
that movie rocks. It's so good.
First Anya Taylor-Joy thing, really, for
me,
for the most part.
Yeah, and I think it might be her biggest breakout that I can think of. She was very young in it, 16, I think.
Yeah.
16, 17. Anyway, she's great. And it's different though, because she's not her, like now she kind of walks around, you're like, she's some kind of special bird, in the movie she's in now.
I know exactly what you mean, right? Like she's elevated to some sort of kind of otherworldly status.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's great, and it works for her, and it's all good. But she wasn't like that when she was 16. She just looks like a kid, and I don't know. It's a really great movie. That movie's awesome. Ralph Ineson's in it, who you know from Game of Thrones and what's something more recent. Anyway, he's the voice of Galactus coming up in the MCU.
Oh, right.
That guy. Yeah. He's so good in it. And
Taylor-Joy is the luckiest actor in Hollywood because The Queen's Gambit could have been awful. It could have been so mishandled, but it's perfect.
It was definitely the stepping stone she needed, or that really created her career from there. But she's awesome. I'll watch her do anything these days, but it does feel like I'm watching a different person do it, because the Vivitch character is like so different. And this goat that's in it
will forever be the Vivitch. By the way, I don't care what anybody says.
You're right. And there's this goat in there. I forgot what they called the goat. Man, it's so good.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, yes. It's Tom Brady and LeBron James are in there.
Last question, really important.
Sure.
I want you to give me the scariest movie you have ever heard of, like the scariest movie of all time. And to narrow it down, I want you to talk about if you were going to show this movie to someone who has not seen it, because scary movies have a way of breaking down sometimes if you watch them multiple times.
Yeah.
But you're gonna show it to somebody who has never seen this movie. What's the scariest movie of all time?
Hereditary for me. That movie scares the shit out of me even now. I've seen it.
The Descent for me.
Oh, that one's so good, Brian. It's so good.
Yeah, got the Blu-ray. Knew nothing about it, and it's 3. And
I think part of it is it's got like. Is it an Australian director? Anyway, there's a hyper action quality to it. It's really disconcerting, that movie. Jeez, it's not, really, and it's not just I'm in a small place and I've got whatever.
But that elevates it for me, because that's probably my only fear is kind of claustrophobia. Like I freak out with claustrophobia in this, so this movie is all about that.
Yeah, that movie is really good.
Dunaway, do you have scariest movie of all time?
Scariest movie of all time, we watch just about every year, is Tim Burton classic, and it has Jeffrey Jones in it. I'm kidding. It is Sleepy. It is Sleepy Hollow, but it's not that one. I would have to say, oddly, is some movies that scared me when I was a kid that I can kind of still pull back up that emotion. An American Werewolf in London just really freaks me out. Okay. I've managed to overcome The Exorcist. That was the one that scared me the most. But since we've watched it here on Film Sack and basically sacked it, doesn't hold quite the sway it used to. But American Werewolf in London, scary stuff for me.
I've never seen
personally.
It. Never seen London.
I want to round it out with. I'll round it out with what most people say when you ask them this question, and that's Gore Verbinski's The Ring.
That's creepy.
Naomi Watts and Davey Chase. Yeah. It's like I'm sure it wouldn't scare me as much if I was to watch it now. But when I saw this movie at a movie theater and I was a young adult, oh my gosh, it was October. I think I saw it like on the Halloween day or something. Oh my God. It was so scary. And like, I always want to know what happens. Take a person who hasn't seen it and give them that experience. Is it actually that scary, or was I just set up for that fear?
I don't know. Like that. I don't want to see it, is what I'm saying. I don't want to see it. Not that I would watch it with you. All right.
Sure.
But there are some movies that are so part of my childhood got ruined. Not ruined.
Trauma.
A little bit of trauma. Yeah. I just don't think I could do it. It's not in me anymore to do those. But who knows what Sacktober here will bring. This year we know, but it's always a year of wondering, and then we get there, and then we're like, yeah, look at this Slaughterhouse 2 or whatever the hell we're going to call it. So that's what we're looking forward to. More horror movies. Tell us your favorites. Yeah. Write in. Who's to say?
Give us your emotional trauma.
Yeah, tell us why you're messed up. What screwed you up in your life, and share it with us here on Film Sack. It's going to do it for us. We hope you're having a great Halloween season, and we look forward to next week where we are covering the film.
We don't know yet.
No, we don't know yet. We're going to find out.
We will look for us to post about it.
TBD.
Very, very, very soon. Like by the time you're listening to this, we're posting about what we're going to be sacking.
I'm sure it's going to be great. Sacktober. That's what I know for sure.
Our second Sacktober. We started Sacktober with Return of the Chainsaw
Surely
Massacre.
we're right. Yeah. Surely it's going to be Christine, right? I mean, come on.
Didn't we do Christine? I thought we did.
No,
Christine.
We've never done Christine.
Shit.
I don't think we've ever done Christine. See, I'm always wrong, so I'm not going to say whether or not we've done something.
If it says it, then we definitely have.
Yeah, I was going to say if I say we definitely haven't, then we absolutely have.
Right. I double checked. You are correct this time. No Christine yet.
We have not sacked it, and it's not streaming for us. But I will add it to our long-term list.
Are there any? So I know there's a new version of the vampire, the original. Shit, I can't think of anything. Stephen King's first book, the vampire one.
Interview with the Vampire. There's a new Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot, geez.
Salem's Lot. Stephen King. Why was I thinking Anne Rice? Jeez.
I don't know. But if you go back, is there the original one, the Salem's Lot original movie? That would be really fun if that's around. Anyway, we don't have to decide now.
I want to share Sleepwalkers with you guys eventually, because that thing, I can't wait to see you guys.
You've pushed us on that a couple times, or pushed that.
I would love for you guys to look at it, and it's unfortunately I think it's only like on Pluto TV for free or something.
That's fine.
Not
do that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll watch.
Or in my house on VHS, whatever.
Yeah, or in your house, nothing until the power comes up. Although we're time shifting here a little bit, so hopefully by the time you guys hear this episode, Brian is doing fine down there. Let's hope. That'll do it for us. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week with more. See ya. And scene.